Welcome back to Supremely Black Podcast. This is your host, D. Rose. So now I see that it has gotten turned up between Jason Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith. If you've been under a rock, I think Stephen A. Smith said he can't just have that shit going on for too much longer, so he had to go ahead and address the situation. Called him a fat bastard. But I'm going to tell you the truth. When I know for a fact it was about to get real, when he said, do you remember when you, what did he say? You betrayed me. You bitch. And when I heard him say that, I said, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like to see us brothers going back and forth, but sometimes, like I've seen people report, you have to go ahead and just address what's really going on out here. And you can't keep letting people just keep throwing slick shots at you the whole time. Jason Whitlock been picking. Stephen A. Smith said about 10 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I watch a lot of journalists. I watch a lot of YouTube, watch a lot of TV shows just to kind of get different little things, get different little takes, so you can never just get so caught up in just your way of thinking. And, you know, some of those guys and some of the women that I actually watch, I respect the channels and the information that they bring forward. But in this particular instance, I'm going to be real with you. If I was Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if I could have even made it 10 years, especially if I felt like somebody was lying on my name. Now, I do find it extremely petty that it had to get to this point. But from me watching some of Stephen A.'s work and also watching Jason Whitlock's work, I can see where he kind of got to his breaking point. It's just, to me, it's unfortunate that, and maybe I'm just one of those people that just maybe look too much into it and want to see that everybody, you know, be on one accord. But, you know, all skin folks is not your kin folks. So apparently a lot of people within, you know, either black Hollywood or black entertainment, television that's within media knows that this is how Jason puts himself out there. I don't know. I only know one person that has met him directly, and they didn't have bad things to say about him. They felt like Jason was a very straight up guy, but he does say and do some controversial things. I think a lot of people do that. I think that's not something that you could just judge a person on. Now, going into the personal things, I don't necessarily want to get in there. I think that's when, to me, it gets a little messy. But this is a trending topic. And since we do actually cover sports over here, I wanted to see what's y'all's thoughts. I mean, you've heard Stephen A's take. I know a lot of people consider Jason Whitlock is just pretty much famous now for having very, very harsh takes. Now, sometimes, to be for real with you, I may agree with where Jason is coming from and how he positions it to speak about what's going on into our black community, right? And then I could listen to what Stephen A. Smith says, and I could agree with where he's coming from in regards to helping wanting to help black people get out of that environment, especially when you look at journalism. He's one of the top guys that may ever do it, to be for real with you. And he happens to be a brother. So I don't like that they have to have this back and forth. But it happens, man. You have to understand that a lot of these people are very competitive in nature. Beat writers, they all are competing to get the top stories. So this isn't anything necessarily new. It just could be something new to you if you aren't, if you don't watch Stephen A. Smith, or you haven't really been privy to where Jason Whitlock is at now on BlazeTV. It's just one of those things where I think it just kind of hit its height. And to be real with you, Stephen A. Smith said he's not going to speak about it anymore. I could honestly understand where he's coming from. Now, to be real with you, also, Jason Whitlock about to run with this shit for as long as he can, because Stephen A. gave him enough content to make him through a couple months. And like I was telling someone that we was talking about it, I don't know what's the truth. I don't know what's the lies. I feel like both of them have a leg and they both standing on both of them, right? I also feel that there could be some truths coming from both sides. Now, is there a little bit of some personal beefs in it? Completely obvious, right? But as I was sharing with my homeboys, I'm just going to keep it real. At that space, I wouldn't have given someone that has been poking that long the opportunity to be able to capitalize, because here's the thing. Just as well as people don't like Jason in that space, it's just the same way as people may not like Stephen A. Smith. You never know who's connected to who, and then now this could actually get really, really messy, because now he wouldn't look like a hater by just bringing up your name. Now he's actually responding to something. So all of the firepower that he may have that he was just sitting on and like a hater would and just waiting on the moment to go ahead and do some hating ass sucker shit, this is what you get now. So to me, I probably wouldn't have ever addressed it. I would have talked around the subject. It wouldn't have been anything subliminal, but I wouldn't have gave him the audience, kind of like what Shannon Sharp said. If I don't mess with you, I don't mess with you. I'm not about to do the back and forth on the internet. You can say how you feel, I can say how I feel, and we can leave it at that. But the whole, I'm going to say this, you're going to respond this week, I'm going to come back, I'm not going to give you my audience. And I would respect that from where Shannon's coming from, because at the end of the day, you do get tired of a person just picking. But you also have to understand that your platform and how much bigger you are than some of those people that are your naysayers or haters. And just realize that, hey, bro, I'm going to let you have it. Because at the end of the day, I know me, my people know me. And if I have to prove that to somebody, then you're not close enough to me to even have to worry about it. So what's your thoughts? Do you feel that Stephen A. Smith went too far? Do you think that Jason Whitlock has been asking for? Let me know what you think. As always, long live CC. I'm out.